I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make chicken pasanda. It's my mom's recipe and she's very well known for it. And here's what you need. Approximately 2 pounds of cut chicken, 1.5 tablespoons of white vinegar, 1 cup well-beaten yogurt, salt to taste, 1 teaspoon each red chili powder and paprika, 2 teaspoons garam masala, 2 tablespoons oil, 2 tablespoons fresh garlic paste, 1.5 tablespoons fresh ginger paste, 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes, 1 cup fried onions, fresh cut cilantro for garnishing. So for this chicken pasanda recipe, we are using the chicken with bones, but the traditional recipe says to use without bones. So the choice is really yours. It tastes great either way. And we've just washed the chicken and we're just going to poke holes with it, just so that the marination goes all the way through, and these are little bigger pieces. So if you're using like bite-sized pieces, you don't even need to do this. You can skip this step.
And in the meantime, we have our yogurt that we're going to beat really well. We don't want any lumps on it. Just make sure it's nice and smooth.
Alright, this is ready, and we're going to add in the vinegar to this. And give it a good mix. And I promise my hands are washed. And we're just going to mix it well and just cover it and leave it aside for 10 minutes. It just helps with the marination process.
Our chicken has been marinating in the vinegar for about 10 minutes now, and we can go ahead and add in some of our spices for the marination. So first goes in our yogurt.
And in that we're going to add in the red chili powder, the degi mirch or the paprika. This is for color. So if you don't want it as spicy, you can switch out the red chili powder for the degi mirch or the paprika. It's just basically for color, not the spice. And this is garam masala and salt. And we're going to again mix it very well. Now in a lot of countries where it is very hard to cook chicken and we need to either pressure cook it, or it doesn't cook as fast as it does for us over here in the US, you can add a little bit of either a tenderizer or a little piece of papaya, green papaya, that acts as a tenderizer. So now we're going to cover it and leave it to marinate in the refrigerator for about 5 to 6 hours, preferably overnight if you have time.
So our chicken has finished marinating, and we're going to carry on with the rest of the process. We have a little bit of oil heating in our non-stick pan here.
And we have used a flat pan over here so that it's easier to maneuver the chicken, and it doesn't break up as easily, because the chicken does get a lot tender after the marination with the yogurt and all the other spices. So you want to turn it around a little less and do a little less handling than you would on like a normal chicken curry or a dish like that.
And I think the chicken will get even heating also. Yes. All at once.
Alright, so this is done, and we're going to add in the ginger and the garlic. And we've actually, the moment we put in the ginger garlic, we reduce the heat to low, so that it doesn't burn, but it gets a little color to it.
So our ginger and garlic are just now getting a little bit of color.
The heat is still on low, so we're going to keep it that way. Add in the tomatoes and give it a good mix. And we're going to keep it on low for a little longer, because if you turn up the heat right now, then you're going to have tomatoes all over the kitchen and on your clothes or apron. So just let it start cooking a little bit. Moisture starts evaporating from the tomatoes, then we'll go ahead and cover it and let the oil separate. Alright, the oil has separated from the tomatoes. It looks fantastic. And we're going to now add in the chicken to that.
And we'll give it a really good mix.
And the beautiful part about this chicken is the red color. So that's why we used red chili powder and compensated it with some paprika or the degi mirch just for the color. Actually, if you don't want to use any, you can just add in just a drop of red food coloring if you're okay with that, and it'll still have the same effect. Wow. Okay, now we can increase the heat a little bit. A lot of times the yogurt that we use is very thick. So what you can do is you can add in a little bit of water if needed. That is again entirely yours. I think we'll need to add a little bit of water just to make sure there's a little bit of gravy, plus the chicken will absorb a little bit more gravy. Okay, just a little bit of water. And there's a lot of chicken pasanda recipes out there, and this is my mom's, and I'm going to give her full credit for this. And I've used it quite a few times, and it's just so fantastic. It just gives such a wonderful flavor. I'm sure it's a little easier than the traditional version, but we love it.
So this is again on medium heat right now, and we'll cover it. And be sure you keep an eye on it and stir it every once in a while, just to make sure it doesn't stick on the bottom. So our chicken has been cooking for about 15 minutes and is looking perfect.
Oh wow, look at the color.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So it's cooked for about 3/4 of the way. And what you've done is you've taken the fried onions. Now these are store-bought fried onions, and they work out fantastic. Cuts our cooking time like phenomenally.
Amazing, yep.
Yeah, so we just put it in a Ziploc bag and just roll the rolling pin over it, so it crushed the onions. And now we're going to add it to this. And what it is going to do is it's going to make the gravy a little thicker, and the masala is going to stick to the chicken, and that's what you want.
And so we're going to mix it really well again. Alright, that's mixed well, so we'll cover it. And we're going to cook it until the chicken finally gets cooked all the way through.
So the chicken has cooked for another 5 to 7 minutes, and it looks perfect. Wow. The key is, like my mother says, the masala needs to libero to the chicken. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It needs to coat the chicken. So that's what it's doing, and we always, I love extra masala, so I have a little extra on the side so it doesn't dry up. So now all we need to do is add some cilantro.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep. And it's ready to serve. Oh, we forgot to turn off the stove.
Yeah.
There you go. So, once again, we thank Mama. Thank you so much for this recipe. I know I called you 200 times for it.
And now she can watch the video.
Yeah, in case.
In case she forgets, right?
True. So join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.